Did you know that the quality of your sleep has an impact on the health of your vagina? My name is Adrienne Rommel. I'm a holistic nutritionist that specializes in holistic nutrition, wellness, and lifestyle practice for women's sexual health. And I know from my own personal experience that my vaginal health depends on how much sleep I get. Because when I don't get enough sleep or my sleep routine is consistently thrown off, that's when I get vaginal infections like yeast infections and herpes outbreaks in my personal experience. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 main benefits that sleep has to your vaginal health. Number 1, getting a good sleep helps our body to keep our immune system strong. When we're sleeping, our body creates T cells, which are white blood cells that help our bodies fight off infection. So if you are somebody who struggles with vaginal infections, especially the viruses like HPV or herpes, like me, this is really helpful and is crucial to boosting your immune system. But also, if your immune system is suppressed, it can also trigger yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis and even UTIs. So it's really important to get a good quality, consistent sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours a night, to be able to keep your immune system strong to fight off these chronic vaginal infections. Sometimes they're chronic and sometimes they're one-off. But if you are sensitive to vaginal infections, it is really important to get a good night's sleep. Number 2, sleep helps us with balancing our hormones, especially as women. When we're going through our monthly menstrual cycle, our hormones are fluctuating throughout the month. And it's really important that we get a consistent, good quality sleep to help balance those hormones to prevent crazy fluctuations from happening, especially during our premenstrual period, when you may notice that you are not sleeping as well as you normally do, and that is very common in the premenstrual phase of our cycle. But it is the most important time that we need the most sleep. So if you're not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night during your premenstrual cycle, it's really good to prioritize a nap in the afternoon, or make sure that you're taking time to rest if you can't catch up on your sleep during that time. Not only is sleep really important to balancing our hormones that come along with menstruation, like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, but it's also really important to managing and maintaining our cortisol levels. Cortisol is our stress hormone, and depending on how your lifestyle is, some of us have too much of it and some of us have not enough of it. And when we're getting into the not enough of it side of things, that's when we're almost in a period of a burnout or adrenal fatigue. So you have to be really careful about your cortisol levels, and not a lot of people know about this. Cortisol is a hormone that's produced by your adrenal glands, which are 2 little glands that sit on top of your kidneys that produce hormones, one of them being cortisol, one of them being adrenaline, and it produces other sex hormones. And the adrenal glands are responsible for our fight or flight stress response. And we really have to be careful when we're in this kind of a phase, because this is how our body, our nervous system, maintains our stress levels and reacts in stressful situations. And if we don't have enough rest, if our body isn't rested enough, it can really impact the health of our nervous system in a negative way. And that's really important to learn, because stress is the most common trigger of vaginal infections. So there's a lot going on here. If you're not getting enough sleep, it can really mess up your hormones that are responsible for your menstrual cycle, as well as your hormones that help you manage stress and trigger your nervous system. And that is what triggers vaginal infections, like yeast infections, like bacterial vaginosis, like herpes, and HPV specifically. Number 3, last but not least, is sleep helps us fight off inflammation. And inflammation is really important to understand, because inflammation can also trigger very common vaginal infections, especially yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, and herpes, and can cause some issues with HPV as well if you are somebody who lives with any of these chronic vaginal infections. So it's really important to understand that inflammation can impact the health of our gut, which can impact the health of our vaginas because it impacts our digestion and our nervous system and basically everything that's working together, all of our bodily functions and systems that's working together to prevent us from getting run down, stressed out, and getting an infection. So getting a good sleep to reduce your inflammation is really, really important because it helps boost our immune system, it helps relax our nervous system, it helps us also support our gut health, which in turn helps support our vaginal health and keep those vaginal infections away. Getting a good sleep is so important to maintain our vaginal health because it helps us, 1, boost our immune system, 2, balance our hormones, and 3, reduce inflammation. Now let's talk about some of the things that you can do to get a really good night's sleep. Okay, so I'm gonna share a little bit of my personal experience, what I like to do before I go to bed. I like to create a really nice bedtime routine that makes me feel really comfortable and really relaxed before I go to bed. So I love to just take a social media break before I go to bed. I turn my phone off for about an hour before I go to bed. I don't have any blue screen activity, which means no phone, no computer, no tablet, no TV. And this helps really relax my nervous system and ease me into a relaxation state so I can fall asleep easier. Sometimes I'll have a really relaxing Epsom salt bath or a really long shower where I really take my time to wash myself and nourish my body. If I have an Epsom salt bath, I'll put a couple of drops of lavender oil into the bath. Lavender oil is also very calming and relaxing to the nervous system, and it's really beneficial. I also have a little oil diffuser that's beside my bed, which I love to put my essential oils in. I put a couple of drops of lavender oil and eucalyptus and cedarwood and orange oil into it, and it really makes it feel like I'm in a spa. It's such a treat. And I always drink a cup of warm chamomile tea, chamomile, before I go to bed because chamomile also helps me to relax. It's also a relaxant, so it's really good to drink before bed. Some other teas that I really love to enjoy before I go to bed that help me relax: herbal teas. Naturally, I do not drink caffeine after 12 p.m. Other herbal teas are peppermint and lemon balm and licorice root. These are all super beneficial to allowing you to relax and calming your nervous system, helping you to sleep easier. I also take a magnesium supplement, which I know Bioptimizers has, and that also is very calming and relaxing and helps me sleep better. And then afterwards, I love to treat myself with my favorite lotions and creams and put on some comfy pajamas, or sometimes I'll sleep without them, and get into a warm bed, especially if I have clean sheets. There's nothing like it. And these things make me just feel really good within myself. It's like a little self-love practice before I go to bed. And it really does help me to fall asleep fast and stay asleep. One thing that is really interesting and really important to learn about and be mindful of is if you are somebody that wakes up in the middle of the night, and once you wake up, you can't fall back to sleep. It's like when you wake up, the wheels start turning. There's a few reasons why this could be happening. And I've really been into researching Chinese medicine. I'm not a Chinese medicine practitioner or specialist, but you can look it up yourself if you Google the certain times that you wake up and what the deeper meanings of those things are. For me personally, I used to wake up between 3 and 5 a.m. every single morning. It was like 4 a.m. on the dot every single morning. And as soon as I would wake up, I'm an overthinker. So I'm the type that once the wheels start turning, it's hard for me to fall back to sleep. But there's a reason why I was waking up at 4 a.m. every single day. And according to traditional Chinese medicine, that means that I'm storing a lot of grief. And the organ that's associated with grief is the lungs. And if you're into any of the chakras, which are the 7 different energy centers in the body, That is based on your heart, my heart chakra. And it makes a lot of sense with what's going on in my life now and my past history of trauma. So all of these things are really interesting to learn about, because when you can understand your sleep patterns from a holistic perspective, putting these things into practical use, like understanding the inflammation and the hormones and the immune boosting reasons why sleep is really important, but understanding how to get into getting a good sleep with your sleep hygiene, sleep routine practices, but also understanding what do you do if you are somebody that wakes up in the middle of the night constantly. It could be because of deeper meanings and deeper reasons, which you can look up yourself by looking into traditional Chinese medicine practices and online. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your health. If you're not getting enough sleep, your body will tell you. It's just really important that you take the time to listen. If you are experiencing chronic vaginal infections, sleep could be the reason why, because it is responsible for your body's immune response, your hormone balances, and fighting off inflammation in the body. It's really important to develop a good sleep routine before you go to bed that's gonna help you relax and calm your nervous system so that you can fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. And if you're not able to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, try to take a nap at some point during the day. It's really important for you to prioritize your rest so that you can manage and maintain your vaginal health. Our goal is for you to become the superhuman version of yourself, the BiOptimized woman. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, click on the like and subscribe button below and hit the little bell notification to get notified when I create more videos like this. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you have any suggestions on your sleep routine, anything that's working for you, I would love to hear from you. And if you have any suggestions on videos that you'd like to see in the future, please let me know. I'd love to hear more from you too. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.